Do you feel like you're barely keeping your head above water? That no matter how hard you try, meaningful progress remains out of reach? Heather gets that. She battled an eating disorder for years before seeking help. Now in recovery, Heather is here to tell you that positive change is possible even when it doesn't feel that way. Join her as she shares openly about her struggles and small triumphs. Fair warning though, Heather doesn't hold back. Her candid story may trigger some. But for those wanting honesty, hope, and healing, this is 1% Better with Heather. The information and stories shared on 1% Better are based on host Heather's personal experiences with eating disorders and mental health challenges. Heather is not a licensed doctor, therapist, dietitian, or other health professional. Her advice and opinions should not be taken as professional medical advice. Please consult your physician or a qualified health provider regarding any medical or health-related issues. 1% Better also contains descriptions of eating disorders that may be triggering for some listeners. Discretion is advised.
Hey there, my little gaffers, and welcome to 1% Better with Heather. Today's episode is a hot topic. It is, I know there's a trigger warning before my episodes, but we're going to be talking dark thoughts. So if this is not up your alley, this is the time for you to leave. I honestly have avoided this conversation for a while. I had someone private message me and ask me, have I ever had these thoughts? And the truth is, yes, more than once. There were a couple times where I thought, this is it. And I'm just done being ashamed of it all. I put my life out to the world because I never want anyone to feel like I did. And it's a horrible feeling. It is the worst feeling I've ever, and the worst hell I've ever been through. I've walked through the pits of hell. I've seen hell. That really sucked. I think it has a lot to do with because I am a reality TV lover. That's how I escape. I'm going to be honest. I don't read books. I'm dyslexic. Books are like, no thanks. I like to watch documentaries, movies, but what I really love, besides the Gilmore Girls, is reality television. I live for that shit. I live for Beverly Hills Housewives. I want to know rich people have problems. I want to like pretend to care. I want to see all the dumpster fires, all of them. And I was a Sister Wives fan. And a couple days ago, one of the children, who is now an adult, passed away by suicide. And unfortunately, suicide has been in my life a couple times. And I've lost family members, I've lost friends, and I've had friends escape it by like the skin of their teeth, so to speak. The latest one was my uncle committed suicide November 1st of 2023. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. I didn't have a very close relationship with my uncle, mainly because he lived like a gazillion miles away. But anytime he came into town, he was a great time. I do have great memories with him, but I wouldn't say we were like very close. I feel horrible for his children. I feel horrible for his wife. I feel horrible for my mom because that was her brother. It was hard. That was hard. November sucked a lot. When someone leaves on their own terms, you have more questions than answers all the time. That's what I've learned. I understand the pain. I will say that. I understand. I understand how you think there's no way out of this. That's it. And you're doing everyone else around you a favor, including yourself. I can sit here and say that's simply not true, but I understand the voice. I understand what's going on up in there. I've lived it. I know. So I'm not trying to take away anyone's pain at all. And there are people who have lived and are living their own personal hell every day. And that is soul sucking. That is exhausting. And again, I understand how you think that's the only way to make it all to stop. When I was in the hospital in July, end of June, July 2022, hooked up to everything, hooked up to a feeding tube, hooked up to IVs, hooked up to every machine known to man. Nothing in my body was working. I was going to be like knocking on heaven's door in 2 weeks. That's what they gave me, 2 weeks to live, if I was lucky. And I remember talking to a couple psychologists, psychiatrists, psychologists, one of the two, asking me a lot of questions about if I've ever had, dark thoughts and whatever. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I lied right through my teeth. Nope, nope, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I don't know what your problem is. Go away. Sure as hell not going to tell you. Get bent. And this probably goes with a lot of people. You don't have to have an eating disorder hooked up to everything, known a man. You can just be a normal human being and be like, nope, everything's fine. Why? Because we don't want people to know. Because we don't want to be judged. And I guess I can only speak from my experience. I don't want to be judged. I already know that I'm crazy. I don't need other people telling everyone else in the hospital, be like, put this girl in psych and throw away the key. No, thank you. Also, when you're a mom, my fear was if I told anybody that I was in this rock bottom hell, I was scared social services was going to come into my house and take away my kids. And that really would that would have been the end of it. Like, I'll tell you that right now. And I'm sure every mom would say that. Nope, game over. I was really scared about that. And once you have social services in your life, they're like glitter. They ain't going anywhere. Like, they will be in your life for the rest, like, and make your life hell. So I'm sure there's really nice social services people. Sorry, but like, that's a story for another day. But no, 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 no. I don't want any more people in my head. Thank you. It's already crowded enough. And I know in my experience. Like when you go on Facebook, and nothing against Facebook, but there's always people when something like this happens, right? When something tragic happens, there's always those people, oh, my door's always open. And anytime you need coffee, just call me. All you have to do is text, and I'll drop everything and come a running. Well, in my experience, that's a bunch of bullshit. That's actually not true. Because in my experience, I have reached out. Crickets. Nothing. Or, or if you're me, because I have the gift, you go over to a friend's house, you sit down for coffee, and you're bullshitting for a bit, and you think, okay, I I'm I'm going to say something. And you kind of test the waters, right? At least I do. And you kind of throw little nuggets, so to speak. So you can say, oh, I don't know, like just the last couple days sucked and blah. And if you're me, you have the friends that come back and say, oh, yeah, like the one uppers, my day sucked more. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, this, oh, this. And as I function as a human, I pull back and I'm like, okay, well, I can take a back seat right now. Clearly, you need a friend to talk to. So let's talk about you. And that has happened more and a lot, more times than I can count. And I don't want to say like they're crappy friends. Maybe I should have come out and said, hey, do you want to drop me off at the bridge because I don't want to tie up traffic? Right? Maybe they would have said, hey, Heather, that's like not a normal thing to say. Maybe it's my fault. But it just seems very surface and, lack of better word, bullshit. When someone is coming to you and they are throwing out nuggets, so to speak, listen to the whispers. Listen to the whispers because no one ever listens to the screaming because you won't hear it. You'll only get whispers. You sometimes, and maybe me, you have to read between the lines with some things. And you can say to me, hey, well, that's not my job. I'm not a psychiatrist. If they need to go talk to someone, they should go talk to someone. Sure. But again, no one likes being judged. Not everyone likes therapy. I love therapy. Like, I could talk forever. I could talk to a wall. It's a great conversation. And not everyone has that. There's a lot of people who was brought up thinking therapy is the root of all evil. And we just put a smile on our face. The sad thing is, all those people who are just grinning and bearing it are the ones suffering, right? I go back to Robin Williams, and that destroyed me. And I could cry over this. That one hurt a lot, and it upset my sister too. We really were affected by it. I don't know why. I don't know the guy, but it hurt. And then with Matthew Perry last year, that was the next one, and I was like, "Oh my god." And I don't that's the magical thing about Hollywood. We get connections with these people. We don't know them, probably never going to meet them in our life, but they affect our lives. Like Friends was huge in my life. Friends came out when I was like 16, I think. And it's an amazing show, and you can turn it on any station and find an episode. And when you're lonely and you're down, those are your friends. That is your family for some people. And I, I know mental health is, everyone has a different experience. Certain things like this are, is genetic. When you have an eating disorder as well, you, odds are you have depression and you have an anxiety and you have OCD. When you are not feeding your brain, no matter what your eating disorder is, your brain is malfunctioning. You can't think straight. You don't know which way's up. For me, I never slept. I was like a flippin' vampire. And it was awful. And you're always in this trauma state. You're always in fight, flight, fight, flight, flee, fawn. You're always like your cortisol's off the chart. It's just not a normal way to function. It's not, but when that's the only thing you've ever known in your life, that is your normal, right? And then I think to myself, well, maybe I'm just going to be alone. Maybe I have to learn to do this on my own. Maybe I'm not lovable. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe everything that I was ever told in my life is true. Maybe I am too much to take, and maybe I should tone it down, and maybe I should change. And all these thoughts from the past come up. And it's so easy to listen to those thoughts from the past. I will be honest, I haven't had, my husband is amazing. And we've been married since 2019. We got together end of 2015, September of 2015. And that man has given me nothing but love and affection and has built me up and is my king. I love that man with all my heart and has done a lot for me. But I'll be honest, for all the praising and all the good, all it takes is for one weird thought to come into my head and it's game over. And I'll be honest, I've talked about it when I was in the hospital and the doctor said, fight, fight for your life. I was waving the white flag and I was like, they got a great stepmom. They don't need me, which is hard to admit. But I know I'm not alone. These thoughts will destroy us. You need to know from someone who lives in a hurricane of hell. They're not true. They're not. You do have to fight and fight very damn hard to know it's all bullshit. I also know it's very hard to pull yourself out of quicksand. It's very hard. I talk a lot about being my own cheerleader because at the end of the day, the only person I can depend on is me. And I think that's universal. The only person you can ever depend on is you. This will take time. This will take work. The universe, the world is not better without you. That's a fact. I know we can live very messy lives, and maybe you have some friends that need to be escorted from the VIP section of your life into nosebleeds. I've done that, I'm not going to lie, with people who I've known for most of my life. I know I'm worth more, and I'm a great friend, and I'm a good person at the end of the day, even though I am Hurricane Heather. I stand up for what's right, and if you are my friend, I will go to battle for you. Even if you're wrong, damn it, I'll go to battle for you. We'll have a conversation later about it, but I'm the friend you want. I'm the crazy person that you want on your side. And as someone who is like me, we're always just looking for someone like us to do that for us. But when we're surrounded with people, they can't. They can't do that for you. It's not in them to do it. And doesn't make them bad people. It's just not how they're made. We're made a little differently. We're warriors, we're survivors. We just keep going, man. And some of us get podcasts to talk about our trauma. But there is light in the dark, even though it doesn't seem like it. There's always light. There can't be dark without light. It's like impossible. It's just sometimes really impossible to see the light. But it comes up. It does. I encourage you, if you are having these feelings, please reach out. There's a lot of helplines all over the world. I'm here. If you want to write info@1percentbetter.ca. I don't judge. Who am I to judge? Jeez, you listen to me, man. You know how crazy I am. So you are my people. You have to find your village. You have to find the people who are going to lift you up and encourage you and freaking be your, like, cheer you on. There's so much negative in the world. And I don't want to go into it too much because I don't even have cable anymore because I can't watch it. I can't. And as a huge TV person, that was a big thing for me. I was like, nope. I put certain limits on my social media. I don't want to hear, I don't want to see it. I want to kind of live in like Neverland. I want to see cat videos, panda bear videos, shiny happy people videos, cooking videos, people who are changing their life, who are an inspiration, and those who want to bring others up with them. I am sick and tired of this dog eat dog world, and you got to step on this person and you got to like not help out a human being. That's just not in my nature. Because blowing out my candle doesn't make yours shine brighter. That took me a long time to learn. And I think that's what's helped. Also, you can't fix stupid. That helps. I say that to myself a lot. But today I was having kind of like a low day. A couple of things have been bothering me. I've talked about my heart. That's kind of playing around in my head. The big test is getting closer and closer. And I try not to think about it, but it's hard not to, right? I'm addicted to breathing, my one good addiction that I have. And something came today. I was out, I had to go pick up some stuff. I came home, and the mailman was at my house. And he's like, "Oh, good thing you showed up. Here, I got something for you." And this box came. I was like, "Oh, where's this from?" And it was from, and he's been on the podcast before. His name's Recovery Dad. His name's Jim. He lives in Chicago, Illinois. I live in Vancouver, Canada. And the only reason I know him is we met through TikTok. So I will never bash TikTok. I've met a lot of amazing people. And there's a lot of amazing people on there trying to build a village. Just for everyone. Everyone who feels alone. Everyone who feels neglected. The misfits, so to speak. We all speak the language. We all do. And we're just here to help. So this parcel comes, and I open it, and I made a TikTok video about it. You can see it at Heather Recovers on TikTok, bawling my face off. His wife, his amazing wife, makes these crocheted fruits. Well, this guy's a pineapple. I guess there's different ones. I have a pickle as well. But it comes with a inspirational quote. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'll hold it up. Sorry for the Spotify people or the listening people. But he's super cute. And here he is. And it says, he's a fine apple. It's fine. You're fine. Everything's fine. I love him. He is like, he's kind of like a cartoon, like a baby. He's got a personality. He's super awesome. And along in the box, it's gorgeous. I should have showed that first. There's a clear lid, and on it there's a tag that says, "Warning, opening this package will cause extreme happiness," with a heart at the bottom. And it, trust me, it delivered. It delivered. And this beautiful gold and beige box with a nice tan ribbon on it. That's what it came in. And she gave me this just for me. Jim wrote me privately and said, because she sells these pineapples and other little characters in her Etsy shop, and I'll get the information so you can support her, because their daughter has an eating disorder and she's trying to fight her way out of it. So I'll do whatever I can to support anybody. And on this card, it has the eating disorder logo. So it's kind of like the heart, the funky looking heart, as I call it. It says, "Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams of your heart. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, but it's about to learn to dance in the rain. 1% better." And then there's a heart and a butterfly at the bottom. Sorry, I know it's blurry. And then a bunch of, they're almost like something you would get in a fortune cookie without the cookie. So I got the fortune. It says, "You can have it all, just not at once." The other one says, "It's only after you've stepped outside your comfort zone that you begin to change, grow, and transform." Amen. Amen. I can, I will. Pardon me. I can and I will. Watch me. Damn right. Watch me. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. Isn't that the truth? And then I got this beautiful coin, and it's silver, and it says, a little pocket hug with a heart in the middle. And on the back, it says, sometimes you forget that you are awesome. So this is your reminder. It looks like size of a quarter. It's gorgeous. I love it. This box means the world to me. It meant so much today. There are good people out there. And I appreciate this box. I love it. I can't believe someone would think of me and send this to me from the States to Canada, because it couldn't have been cheap. You don't have to send your friend a box like this. A hug will do. Tell me how you are doing today is good. Sometimes holding someone's hand is enough. Sometimes just sitting down beside each other in silence is enough. You are loved. You are enough. You are chosen. You are worthy. I love all of you. I do. I'm that person. And I want to thank each and every one of you for all the support, all the love. You're not alone. You're not. 1% better every day. Take care of you.
That's all for this episode of 1% Better. To continue the conversation, head over to our website at www.1percentbetter.ca, where you can access more stories and resources. We'd also love it if you subscribed and left us a review on your favorite podcast platform. And remember, friends, progress takes patience, perspective, and sometimes a little help from people who get it. So be kind to yourself and others as we work to get 1% better every day. We'll see you back here next week.